Good morning. This is Ryan Gilkerson, lead creative at Company 119, and this is the Coffee Cup, where today we're talking once again about chatbots. But before we get started with that, I want to thank Buckeye Coffee, our neighbors here in Chardon, and also one of our Company 119 clients. We got some delicious coffee this morning. And you'll also notice I'm not wearing my Company 119 jacket I usually wear. That's because it's officially hoodie season here in Northeastern Ohio. So I thought I'd kick off hoodie season with the Company 119 hoodie today. But we're going to talk about chatbots again, mainly because I think it's cool. I think chatbots are one of the coolest things in digital marketing. Because they're kind of the tip of the iceberg of what is to come. Now, I'm a big fan, recent big fan of the show Black Mirror on Netflix, which is a little dark, not for everybody, for mature audiences only. But the show Black Mirror kind of explores the future where things like virtual reality and things like automated or artificial intelligence kind of dictate the way our life goes, and it shows kind of the dark side of how those things can go. But there's also a lot of awesome applications for things like automated assistants and chatbots, and there's a lot of really cool things you could do with chatbots. They just really are exciting to me. So there's an article from Forbes, Virtual Assistant John, if you could bring this article up. There's an article from Forbes that I wanted to take a look at today. Does the evolution of chatbots include replacing humans? This total article is not just about humans being replaced by chatbots. There's some other cool stuff that they talk about, including some tips for getting started with chatbots that we're going to take a look at. But it talks about the roots of artificial intelligence that date back to the 50s with Alan Turing's Turing test. Alan Turing's Turing test was basically, we're going to know when the computer world is really able to compete with the human world when you won't be able to tell a human from a computer during an experience. He thought about this all the way back in the 50s. We are just now to the point where this is a real thing. When Google released their new virtual assistant, at the beginning of the year, and we talked about on the Coffee Cup, it's a virtual assistant that can actually talk to other virtual assistants, but it can also call a human and carry a conversation over the phone to do things like book an appointment, book a reservation, book a haircut, whatever it might be. People could not tell the difference between talking to that robot or talking to a real person. It was the first automated system that sounded enough like a real person. It was responsive enough to feel like a real person, that it's the first time in human existence that the Turing test was passed. So if you think about it, that's how far we've come just since the 50s to where we are now. Think about how far we're going to move in the next 5 years, for example. It's not going to take it's not going to take 70 years for us to advance on what we're doing right now with AI. But live chat came about and automated assistants came about because for a long time, all you could do was call people or maybe shoot an email to somebody to get assistance on a website, and it just wasn't fast enough. People wanted a faster response time. So these virtual assistant bots came into place and gave us the opportunity to get an immediate response to a lot of questions. Now, at first, there were like 6, 7, 8 questions that a chatbot could really walk through with you. I just saw something yesterday where a particular company has over 260,000 scenarios that can be handled by a chatbot. Over 250,000 conversations and questions can be addressed by a chatbot. So we're going to talk about what that means for humans that need jobs in just a second, because that's a real thing. Are humans going to be able to compete once chatbots can do everything? But for now, let's start talking about how you can implement chatbots into what you do on your website or your social media for your company. First thing you want to do is you want to identify goals. You want to step into your customer's shoes and say, what part of my customer experience is something that should be handled only by a human? And what part of this is something that can be handled by a chatbot? Now, obviously, customer service issues. What time is your store open? How long will it take for me to get my item? What's your return policy? Things like that are questions that a chatbot can very quickly put up an answer for. What you don't think about with chatbots are things like, what if I have a blue hoodie and I want to find shoes and a jacket and a hat to go with that hoodie? What would I do with that? Do I need to talk to a live person? Well, what we found out is now chatbots are sophisticated enough to help you pick out outfits and make decisions that it was previously thought could only be handled by a human. So you need to think about what a customer wants to do immediately on your site and mix that with technological capabilities and what can be done. If you've got a blue hoodie in your shopping cart, you don't want to wait for an email to come back to you 2 days later to help you pick out the rest of your outfit. You want to know right now, what should I go buy? So there's enough technology in place with these chatbots that it can actually go in there and pick out the rest of the outfit and help you make more money with your sales. Identify your goals and decide how your process could be enhanced by a virtual assistant. And you need to decide between a platform or development. There's platforms out there. ManyChat and ChatFuel, for example, are two platforms where you can get a bot right now. You can program some questions into it. It's going to give you a list of things that these bots can handle, and you can put those up right now today and get started. Or you might need some development. Now, obviously, to have a chatbot that's going to help to make decisions for people, things that aren't necessarily yes or no questions, there might be some development time that's going to go into that. What do we know about computers? What do we know about web design? What do we know about digital marketing? Time equals money. So if there's going to be time put into development, you're probably going to be spending a little bit more money. It's not going to be the same type of option as you have with some of the platforms that are already in place. However, it might respond better for your customers, and it might actually give them a better experience as well. So what's that mean? It might make it more sense for you to go ahead and get a bot developed. Outline the design. So you have to go from beginning to end and craft responses for your bot that are going to make this process seamless for your user. You have to understand what are the possible outcomes for what I'm going to ask this bot to handle. Is everything going to be just yes or no? Is it all really simple answers? Or am I going to get into some things that have some variables in place that my bot is going to have to be able to respond to quickly? So outlining the design is really, really hard. The cool thing about outlining a design, though, is you can also inject bits of your company's personality or your company's persona into the responses that the bot has. There's a lot of really funny chatbots, to be honest with you, that have a really great personality and reflect the tone of the web presence of the company. So you can inject some of that into your chatbot as you're designing your chatbot's stance. There's other channels that you can operate from too. Do you want this to just be on Twitter, just to handle customer service? Do you want it to be on your website? What channels do you want to go with to reach your customers? What touch points would this make the most sense to have them at when they're interacting with your bot? You want to include a human connection. This is really important. Although bots can handle a lot, you still want to give people the opportunity to speak with a human if they need that or request that. It might take them a little longer to get their answer, but if they are not getting what they want out of your chat bot, if they want that human connection, they just don't want to deal with the bot, at this point, you still need to give them that option. There are certain things that only a human connection can offer. And then test and revise. You want to go through this chatbot. Once you have it set up and you think it's working, go over different scenarios. Give it some complexity. Test it. Really test the limits of what that chatbot is able to do. You might find that you thought your chatbot was going to be able to handle more than it is. You have to go back and revise your questioning a little bit and your answers a little bit to make that chatbot really efficient. You don't just want to throw it out there one time and think that it's handling everything. And then you want to launch it and monitor it. Once you get it out there, you don't just put the chatbot out and let it go. You want to continue to test it, continue to monitor the progress, see how people are responding to it. Are you getting a lot of complaints about it? Are people saying they hate your customer service, they just want a real person? Are they saying that it doesn't feel personal enough? Or are they saying, man, this is so easy, I wish I could do more of this. I wish there was more I could do with this chatbot because it makes it so fast for me to get what I need from this company that I love. So you've got to continue to take a look and see how the chatbot is affecting your everyday business. So that brings us to finally, will chatbots replace humans? This is what Forbes wanted to get to originally. I'll give you a hint. It's a little bit of clickbait. There's not much about that in this article. But the thing about AI is, yes, right now, there's no way that a chatbot could replace humans for everything today. What happens sometimes is that the computers, what are they susceptible to, right? A human element, even though they're not human. Twitter released an AI chatbot that was going to replicate a teenage boy on Twitter and was going to interact with people and be fun. Well, somebody got into that Twitter bot and injected some racism into that Twitter bot's personality. And the longer that chatbot was interacting with human beings, the more racist it became. And Twitter found itself in a real PR nightmare because its AI bot was out here saying some things pretty slanderous, pretty hurtful, and pretty hateful. So until we could remove that element from a chatbot experience. There's still going to be a need for human interaction, but eventually there's going to be more and more that these chatbots can do. So are they going to replace humans? Not with everything, but eventually there's just going to be more and more and more that these chatbots are going to be able to do. So in essence, we are kind of training our replacements. That's a sobering thought, but not today. So right now, you can just use these chatbots to enhance your business. They're going to make everything smoother for your customers. They are going to enhance your customer experience and make it easier for you to concentrate on other things you need to get done to make your business operate smoothly. Well, I'm Ryan Gilkerson, again for Company 119, and we hope that you learn more about chatbots before you finish your first cup of coffee than your competition will all day. Thanks to Buckeye Chocolate for this great coffee. We'll see you tomorrow.